The red and blue lights rippled across the dark water, washing my boat in flickering color. I tightened the last cleat hitch, the rope biting against my hands as a sound of boots echoed steadily down the dock. 2 officers approached, their silhouettes crisp against the glow from the patrol car. "Excuse me, sir," said the taller one, Officer Martinez, with that calm, official tone only seasoned cops have. "We got a call about trespassing in an authorized docking here at the marina." I didn't even have to look to know who called. My eyes drifted toward the shoreline, and there she was, platinum hair, crossed arms, and that smug, satisfied smirk. Patricia Hendricks, or as everyone in Sunset Shores called her, Karen. Before I explain how I ended up being accused of trespassing on my own marina, I need to rewind 3 months earlier, to the day I moved in. The Sunset Shores subdivision was supposed to be paradise, calm waters, perfect lawns, and sunsets that looked like paintings. I'd just bought the Morrison property, a craftsman-style home with a view that could make you forget your own name. But the real gem wasn't the house. It was a surprise that came with it. A 51% ownership stake in the Sunset Marina, the dock that stretched right beside it. That piece of information would soon drive one woman completely insane. Patricia Hendricks, HOA president for 7 long, tyrannical years. Her word was law, and she enforced it with the enthusiasm of a dictator armed with pastel stationery. She decided who parked where, what color your shutters could be, and even what kind of wind chimes were aesthetically acceptable. The first day she appeared on my doorstep, I was surrounded by unpacked boxes. She wore a smile so tight it looked painful and held a binder thick enough to crush a man's will to live. "Welcome to Sunset Shores," she said sweetly. "I've highlighted the important HOA rules for you. Pay special attention to sections 4 through 17. Those cover our watercraft regulations." I thanked her, took the binder, and set it aside. I figured I'd get around to it after unpacking. Mistake number 1. By week 2, she'd already left 3 voicemails about new resident integration. When I skipped her emergency HOA meeting, she called it a personal slight. But the real war started the day I brought my boat down to the marina, a modest 24-foot cruiser. Clean, solid, reliable. I was backing the trailer down the ramp when Patricia appeared out of nowhere, clipboard in hand like some kind of bureaucratic ghost. "Excuse me," she barked. "You can't launch that here without HOA approval." I calmly explained that I lived at 47 Waterfront Drive and that my property included marina rights. Her face twitched. "That doesn't matter. All watercraft must be approved by the HOA board." That's when I dropped the bomb. "Actually, Patricia, I own 51% of this marina. Bought it along with the Morrison property." She froze, blinked, her lips parted, then sealed into a hard, angry smile. "Oh," she said quietly, "we'll see about that." And from that moment, she declared war. Within a week, HOA email blasts filled everyone's inbox. An authorized vessel threatened community standards. Property values at risk. Neighbors started whispering. Patricia even held informal gatherings near the dock, conveniently timed for when I worked on my boat. Then came official complaints to the HOA board, the City Marina Commission, even the Coast Guard Auxiliary. Every time, I responded calmly, attaching deed copies and legal proof. Every time, she ignored them. Finally, the tension reached its breaking point at the next HOA meeting. Patricia stood at the podium, PowerPoint glowing behind her. The boat problem, a clear and present danger to our community. 4 to 5 minutes. That's how long she ranted, showing photos of my boat from every angle like she was presenting evidence in a murder trial. When she finally finished, I stood up quietly, walked to the front, and plugged in my phone. "Let me show you something," I said. The screen shifted to the marina deed. My name, my signature, my 51% ownership. "As you can see," I said evenly, "the marina is a private legal entity. HOA jurisdiction does not apply." Silence. Shock. Then whispers. Patricia's face turned the color of a warning light. "This is impossible. I've managed this marina for 7 years. I smiled faintly. "Then you should have checked who owned it before calling it yours." 2 days later, she called the police. That's how I ended up that night, under flashing lights, facing 2 officers on my own dock. Officer Martinez scrolled through my documents while his partner, Officer Chen, tried not to laugh. It didn't take long before they realized exactly what was going on. Martinez turned to Patricia. This gentleman owns a marina. You can't trespass on property you don't own. Patricia's mouth fell open. But the HOA has rules. This violates everything. Officer Chen's tone sharpened. Filing a false report is a misdemeanor. Don't waste our time over personal disputes. For once, Patricia had no words. She just stood there, pale and trembling. By morning, the whole neighborhood knew. Sunset Shores buzzed with gossip, and for the first time, people stopped whispering out of fear. They whispered out of relief. Slip renters came to me privately, telling their own stories. How Patricia once banned a kayak because it was too yellow, or demanded someone write a 1-page essay explaining why they deserved a slip. That's when I decided it was time to end her reign for good. I called for an emergency community meeting. The room was packed, nervous, curious, hopeful faces. I laid out my vision. First, we're upgrading the docks. Real safety equipment, new cleats, better lighting. Second, slip assignments will be fair and transparent. No favoritism. And third, no harassment, no gossip, no fake complaints. If your vessel's seaworthy and you respect others, you're welcome here. Applause thundered through the hall. Then, from the back, a sharp voice cut through the noise. Patricia stood, shaking. This is a coup. You're destroying everything I built. Before I could respond, an older man named George stood up. Patricia, he said calmly, the only thing being destroyed here is your chokehold on this neighborhood. The crowd erupted. Applause. Cheers. Then came the motion, a vote of no confidence. 17 in favor, 2 against, 1 abstained, Patricia's sister. Her rule was over. Patricia's jaw trembled as a new vice president stepped forward. We also moved to officially separate HOA governance from marina operations. Unanimous vote. Patricia's hands clenched around her designer purse. You'll regret this, she hissed, storming out. But it was already done. 2 weeks later, I posted the new marina rules. Short, clear, fair. The sign out front read, Sunset Marina, privately owned and operated. Then one afternoon, I opened the mail and nearly laughed. A new slip application. Name, Patricia Hendris. She bought a small sailboat, hoping to sneak back in. I stamped her form denied and wrote beneath it, due to a record of harassment and false reporting, this application cannot be approved. The day she received it, she stormed into the marina, face flushed. You can't do this to me. I am Sunset Shores. I looked up calmly. You're welcome to dock 6 miles north. I hear they love HOA paperwork up there. She left screaming. In the months that followed, her reputation crumbled. The false 911 call got her fined $3,000 and sentenced to 40 hours of community service. She lost her real estate license, her presidency, and finally, her house. She moved to Arizona, to a community with no marina, no docks, and no power. Meanwhile, Sunset Marina thrived. Families laughed again, kids fished from the docks, and the sunsets finally returned to peace. One evening, I stood at my private slip, the water calm beneath a fading orange sky. The new sign gleamed in gold. Private slip, owner-operated. And for the first time in years, Sunset Shores was free.